Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I think most people are in the class. So, welcome to Miss Rachel's class. Here are the class rules. Number 1, speak loudly and clearly. Number 2, click the raise your hand button to speak. Number 3, listen carefully. Number 4, speak English. And number 5, try your best. As always, today we're continuing with our Finding Nemo movie study. Now let's just go through the homework that we had yesterday. So let's begin. So part 4 is all about Nemo's escape plan. So what I want to discuss today is Nemo's plan. How has it gone to action? Now, before we do that, let's have a look at part 4's timeline to just remind ourselves what happened in the movie. So it starts off like this. What happens here? What is Nigel telling Nemo? Nigel comes to talk to Nemo. What is he telling him? Billy.
Nigel is telling Nemo that his dad, Marlin, is coming to find Nemo.
Very good. How does this make Nemo feel?
It makes Nemo feel happy.
Very good. Well done. Amazing work. Oops. Amazing work. Well done. Nigel tells Nemo his dad is coming to save him, and everyone in the tank gets very excited for Nemo. Then what happens? Pat.
Joe makes an escape plan for Nemo to not get adopted by Darla.
So hasn't that already happened? So in part 3, do you remember Nemo takes a pebble in and it doesn't work? Nemo almost gets sucked back in.
Right. I forgot.
That's okay, don't worry. So that's already happened. Okay, so the plan did not work. Everyone felt very sad about it. But then Nigel comes along. He says, Nemo, your dad has swum all across the ocean to come and save you. And what does this make Nemo do? How does Nemo feel?
Happy.
Good.
And excited.
Good. Well done. Happy and excited. Very good. So Nemo is excited and very happy. What does this make him do? Have a look here. Where is Nemo? Where is he gone? Nemo looks at everyone and is like, oh, my dad, who is scared of the ocean, has swam all this way to come and see me. He's very happy about it. It makes him feel so happy and so determined to do something. What does he then do? Trixie.
Nemo then reattempts Gil's plan to escape, and he goes into the tube and then throws the pebble into the warmth.
Good girl, well done, amazing. So then Nemo gets very determined. He hears this good news about his dad coming to save him. So he thinks, you know what, I'm going to go and try this plan again. And this time he gets a bigger pebble. Well done. So he becomes determined to escape and succeeds when he tries again. Okay. Then we go to Dory and Marlin. What happened to Dory and Marlin? So they get off the turtles. Then what happens? Rosie, what is Marlin holding on to here? What happens to Marlin and Dory?
They are in the whale mouth.
Very good.
It's time to the whale will eat him or something like that, and Nemo doesn't trust Dory
Marlin doesn't trust Dory.
Doesn't trust Dory to let the hand off and go inside.
Good girl, well done.
Marlin just hold Dory's hand.
Very good. Well done, Rosie. Perfect. So they're inside the whale now. Marlin was really upset about this. And Dory is saying, come on, it's time to let go, because she feels like she can speak whale. So she thinks that she understands the whale. And Marlin doesn't trust Dory. He thinks that the whale just wants to eat them. but eventually he does let go. So Marlin and Dory are trapped inside the whale. Marlin thinks the whale wants to eat them. But then what happens? Ta-da! What's happening here? Winter.
Then the whale breathes, and the water split out of the hole, and Marlin and Dory it's out of the whale.
Very good. Well done. Then the whale shoots them out of its blowhole. And where do they end up? Everyone shout it out. Where do they end up? Disney. Very good. So the whale wasn't trying to eat them. The whale was helping them the whole time because the whale brought them to Sydney. This actually shows us that Dory can speak whale. She was able to communicate with the whale, and the whale helped them. Okay, let's talk about Nemo's escape plan. So we had one escape plan, but it was tried more than one time. It started here. What can you tell me about this scene? Let's talk about this scene. What have the artists tried to do? What is the color scheme of this scene? Trixie.
I can see red, mostly red,
Mostly red and
oranges, and a bit of green.
good girl. So red, orange, and a bit of green, and quite a lot of blackness, right? There's quite a lot of blackness around the edges to show us that it's nighttime and that it's dark. So what do you think the artists were trying to portray here? The colors are predominantly red and black and dark. What do you think the artists are trying to show here? Billy.
I think it's because it is a night and it is very important escape plan.
Very good. Okay, good job. Because it's at nighttime and they're trying to make it seem scary, aren't they? Nemo gets woken up and he's quite scared. Jacques said, "Follow me." He comes up and they make him swim through the ring of fire. They're trying to make it scary. But Nemo's emotion changes by the end. When Nemo first wakes up and he first gets to the volcano, he says he seems very scared and anxious. But afterwards, when he swims through the ring of fire, how does he feel? Han.
He's feeling pretty good.
Good. Well done. He's feeling pretty good. When he swims through and bumps Gil on the nose, he smiles because he realizes that he can do things. So here, Nemo joins the tank gang and Gil comes up with a plan for a way to save Nemo from Darla. What happens to that plan? Does it succeed? Hacker.
No.
Why not?
Because,
What happens?
Because the pebble, he just not thrown that. So the machines could put it out.
Good job. Well done. It does not work because maybe the pebble is too small. The pebble does not get jammed. It starts spinning again. And Nemo almost hurts himself. How does everyone in the tank feel after this happens? Noob.
Feel sad.
Good. Everyone feels sad, especially Nemo and Gil. Okay, so this is after the plan did not work. Nemo looks really sad here because he feels like he's let everyone down. Okay, so the escape plan didn't work because the pebble was too small and everyone is feeling sad. Okay, then what happens here? Who's this and what does he tell Nemo? Let's go for Kimmy.
He is Nigel.
Nigel. Good girl. Good girl. So it's Nigel. And what does he tell Nemo?
He told Nemo that Marlin is going to help him.
Good girl. Well done. He comes and tells this really good news that Marlin is on his way to help him. Okay, so why do you think that this made Nemo try the plan again? Rosie.
I think because when Nemo heard Nigel said that his dad Marlin go and fight with three sharks and go to find him, and his dad tried very hard to go to find him in the big ocean, and Nemo think that his dad is so brave to find him, and he will not quit like his dad.
Good girl. Really good girl. Well done. So Nemo feels determined and he says, you know what? If my dad's going to be this brave, I can be too. Really good girl. Well done. So Nigel tells Nemo his dad is coming to save him. So this makes Nemo feel determined to succeed, so he tries to do it again. And did it work? Everyone shout out, did it work?
Yes.
Yes, well done.
Yeah.
Nemo picks a really big pebble and he goes in and he does it by himself. Then we can see the tank starting to get very green and very dirty. How does everyone feel about this? Is everyone happy? Yes, they're all very happy that it's working. They feel very positive that it's going to work. Okay,
Yes.
good. So Nemo successfully stops the filter from working, the tank gets dirty, and everyone is happy. And that's where we left it in part 4. Okay, now let's have a look at Dory and Marlin. We're going to talk about their relationship some more. So after they get thrown off the turtles, they're kind of in the middle of the deep blue sea. There is nothing around them. How do they react? Firstly, tell me, how does Marlin react? When they're in the middle of the deep blue sea with no one around them, how does Marlin react? Winter?
They don't know where to go.
They don't know where to go, exactly. And how does this make Marlin feel?
We feel little bit sad.
Sad and worried and scared, yeah? Very good, well done. Okay, how does Dory react? Joey?
She's quite joyful and happy.
Very good. Well done. She's joyful and happy. When Marlin is freaking out, Dory is there to calm him down. She says, hey, listen, it's okay. We'll just ask someone for directions. And Marlin is saying, who? Who are we going to ask for directions? But eventually they see a shadow in the ocean. So Marlin panics and worries a lot, whereas Dory is positive, hopeful, and cheerful. She helps calm Marlin down and she asked Marlin to trust her. And he did. So again, this is showing a great improvement in their relationship. Every time Dory asks Marlin to trust her, he's saying, okay, and he's trusting her. Then what happens? Dory starts speaking a different language. What language does Dory start speaking? Han?
Well,
Whale. Good girl. Well done. And does it work?
it does work, but I thought the first time she was trying to say into some like some kind of well that's like a little bit weird.
Yeah, it is. It sounds a little bit weird, but it seems to work because the whale turns around and he comes to pick them up. Okay, but Marlin is not so happy with this. We can tell here that he is very scared, and Dory is none the wiser. So Dory asks the whale for help, but Marlin is afraid that the whale might hurt them. Then, when the whale eats them, well, not eats them, but when the whale gets them into his mouth, how does Marlin feel? Lily?
He feels sad.
Good. He feels sad. Anything else? No? Okay, well, good. Yes, he feels really, really sad. He feels angry at the start and then he gets very sad. He even says to Dory, he feels like he's broken his promise to Nemo because he said, I promised I would never let anything happen to him. And Dory says, that's a weird promise because if you never let anything happen to him, he'll leave a very boring life. Okay, so Marlin is really upset at this point. Although Dory is still cheerful, even though they're in the whale, Marlin is very sad at this point. He feels like he has broken his promise to Nemo. So he's feeling very sad inside the whale. Now, this is an important thing I want to look at. In the movie, when the water starts going down and the whale is starting to ingest the water, Marlin starts to panic and he says, oh my God, the water is going down. What do we do? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And Dory says, is it going down? I didn't notice. Then Marlin says, are you crazy? Look at the water. It's half empty in here. And Dory says, I would say it's half full. Now, this is a really important thing in the English language, okay? So some people say that the cup is half empty or it's half full. If you are someone who thinks the cup is half empty, what kind of adjective would we use to describe that person? Pat, right? Okay, Pat. What do you think? If someone looks at the glass and says, oh, that glass is half empty, are they a positive
You're
person?
very negative.
You're
Good,
very sad or
Good.
angry.
good, well done. It means you're negative. You're seeing the bad in life. You're not looking at the good things. Well done, Pat. If you're saying, oh, my glass is half empty, it means that you're focusing mainly on the fact that you don't have much water in there. However, if you're someone who says, oh, well, my glass is half full, you're a very positive person. You're looking at the good things. You're thinking, well, I've still got half a glass to go before I'm done. So here, you are the positive person. So this is a big contrast between Marlon and Dory. Marlon looks at life thinking the glass is always half empty, whereas Dory has an outlook on life and she thinks the glass is always half full. What's happening here? Marlon gets really angry at Dory at this point and he starts yelling at her. In fact, he calls her the wrong name. What name does Marlon call Dory? Pumpkin.
It's Nemo.
Good boy, well done. Marlon calls Dory Nemo. He says, you think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo. Why do you think that Marlon called Dory Nemo accidentally? Han.
Because like in the second part where Dory go to the drop off, he said the same to Nemo.
Very good. He said the same to Nemo. He said it to Nemo several times in the movie. I think he said it twice before. He says, you think you can do these things, but you just can't. So he's so used to telling Nemo that he cannot do things that he mistakes this for Dory when he's telling her off. So Marlon calls Dory Nemo accidentally because he is used to telling Nemo he can't do things. Okay? And Dory just looks at him as if to say, I don't know what you're talking about. Eventually, the whale says to Dory, it's time to let go. Dory tells Marlon this, and Marlon does not trust Dory. She's telling him to let go, but Marlon doesn't want to. What happens in the end? Does Marlon trust Dory?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he lets go. He says, how do you know that something bad won't happen? And she says, I don't. So this is showing that Dory doesn't actually know if this is the right thing to do, but she trusts herself, okay? She's just saying, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to let go. And then Marlon also lets go. So Marlon trusts Dory again and lets go. Then it was the right thing to do because what happens? What does the whale do? Kimmy.
The whale blows them out the blowhole.
Good girl, Kimmy. Well done. The whale blows them out of the blowhole and they land in Sydney. So the whale has understood the whole time, which makes Dory very happy. In fact, Marlon is even happier. He's swimming around. He said, come on, Dory, let's go and do this. And that is the end of part 4. That's where we stop at part 4. So the whale lets Dory and Marlon out at Sydney. The whale understood Dory the whole time, which is really good. Okay, guys, now we're going to play a little game before we sign off today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let you guys draw on the screen. So what I want you to do is I want you to circle the correct character. I'm going to say an adjective that describes the character, and I want you to circle the correct one. Okay? And let's begin. The first adjective is cheerful. Good. Well done, Pat. Joey. Well done, Winter. Well done, Cherry. Okay, good job. Okay, perfect. Well done. Okay, so the answer is Dory. Dory is the cheerful one. Well done, guys. Goodbye, Marlon. The answer is Dory. Good job. Here is our homework for today. What I want you to do is, again, I want you to fill in more events. What has happened in part 4? How are Dory and Marlon's relationship? How is it coming along? Is it getting better or is it getting worse? If you think it's getting better, tell me why. What happens that makes it get better? How does Marlon behave in the whale? How does Dory behave in the whale? How do they feel when they get to Sydney? Then I want you to draw, to write some causes and effects from scene 4. I want you to rewatch part 4 if you need to, and I want you to come up with your own causes and effects. For example, you could write Dory spoke to the whale as a cause, and the effect is that the whale put Dory and Marlin in its mouth. Okay, so you think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 causes and effects from part 4. Okay, then I'm going to stop sharing with you and I'm going to say goodbye. Guys, what I want you to do is I want you to watch part 5 as well. Watch part 5. We're moving on to part 5 tomorrow. So enjoy watching Finding Nemo, and I will see you tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day. Bye.